Okay, let's call the village board meeting June 10th, 2024 to order, and we need a roll call.
Venturini.
Here.
Washburn.
Here.
Bhatia.
Here.
Anastasio.
Here.
Doxy.
Here.
DeGroot.
He's here. And we'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's move to public comment. Members of the public are welcome to provide comments on any matter. Please listen for the president to recognize you. State your name and address for the public record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Can we hear from Kathy DeVerney?
Hi again, Kathy DeVerney, 5602 First Place, Summers. I'm here to speak on behalf of the sludge dump site, and I'm hoping this is the last time I make a public comment at your meeting. I'm not even a village resident, just someone who wants elected officials to do the right thing. I am thankful that the Root, Pike, Wynn, and the DNR have finally gotten involved. However, I still have concerns. Based on what I heard in the audio from the May 23rd utilities meeting, it would seem Lindsay is the only person monitoring what Oaks is doing and reporting back to the DNR. Kevin has made numerous attempts to suggest how the runoff could be contained, yet no one is listening, and Oaks continues to spread the waste and create barriers that are not working. If they are planning to spread not 5,000 cubic yards, but 12,000 plus, where's all that going to go? In the meeting, Trustee Washburn admitted Oaks likely doesn't have their own engineers and are, as she implied, flying by the seat of their pants. And we're in good hands with Lindsay's oversight. But are we? The rain continues to create gullies through the berms, and the sludge runoff continues to run right down the road into the catch basin that empties into the pike. And now we have a sign that says active construction site, do not enter without permission. There's been active construction on that site for 10 years without a sign. So forgive me if I feel you're just trying to hide something. You certainly don't have a great track record. Lindsay said that once the waste is spread and seeded, this will all be a moot point. Well, how long is that going to take? And if they spread all 12,000 cubic yards, they'll disturb areas that already have plant life growing. So in the meantime, is it just going to be okay for sludge runoff to run into the catch basin? Lindsay also stated that Oaks is responsible for cleaning up the garbage in the pond sludge. Ha, for real? Do you honestly think someone is walking around that site looking for garbage? Who's monitoring that all day? Also stated in the utility meeting was the amount of time Lindsay has invested in this fiasco at a significant expense to the village, and I might add the taxpayer. I guess we can all thank Mr. DeGroot for this, unless Oaks is covering this too. At the end of the day, here's what's really sad. You folks were elected to be there for your constituents, even if that meant calling out your crooked president. Had it not been for Kevin following a disgusting truck back to DeGroot's HOA pond, this would have all been swept under the rug and the public would have never been the wiser. Maybe many of you had no idea what was going on, but surely some of you did, yet did nothing. In the meantime, I'll continue to spend my time posting to Facebook and following up with the DNR to make sure that they are on top of what's happening to that site and the river that I enjoy and that Wynn, with your support, spent an awful lot of money cleaning up. Thank you.
Okay, let's hear from Kevin Rano.
Kevin Rano, 5621 First Street, Summers. A quick side note, I see the new board and commission members will be approved today. I strongly recommend that you require and document formal ethics training for the Zoning Board of Appeals so they don't make gross errors again like they did on the private pond sludge appeal. Recently, a sign was posted at the entrance of Village Parkland at 7600 County Line Road. It says, active construction site, do not enter without permission, A.W. Oaks and Sons. Why was this sign posted? It raises several questions. This is village land. Who from the village authorized the sign? Oaks does not have a contract with the village. They are a subcontractor of Kestrel Hawk. All should remember that Oaks is the party that dumped here illegally, resisted direct orders from staff, intentionally and grossly understated the amount of waste being dumped, and missed agreed upon deadlines for project completion. Are you now ceding control of your land to a party with judgment like this? Is there a risk to the public due to dust or contact with the pond dredging spoil that is currently being spread on the park? No. We've been guaranteed by those who dumped the material and those responsible for the site that the DNR said the material is perfectly safe. Maybe a dog will wander over the field and come home muddy. Has the public interfered with construction activity in the past? No. Work has occurred here for over 10 years with much larger crews and more expensive projects without any problems. Could it be that there is too much waste and the restoration won't go as planned, or it will become unsightly? Time will tell. The facts are you have a proven track record of environmental complacency at this site. Until recent public involvement, problems have been ignored. Things have not been corrected and improvements are still needed. Could it be that you anticipate future environmental failures that you don't want exposed? If there are problems, we should identify them and work to correct them as soon as possible. Or are you embarrassed that the contractor you let abuse the system and is now also being allowed to dictate village policy? And are you billing them per the terms of the appeal for the additional cost to the village for time spent on your daily inspections? I and others would like permission for access to the site when the crew is not working. I understand that it's human nature to be uncomfortable when others are monitoring one's work. I also know that it's human nature to try harder to do the right thing when you know others are counting on you. It is now time for you to do the right thing. I ask you to remove the keep out sign, return to normal access, and be willing to accept any scrutiny that's appropriate. Learn from recent experience. Don't let the poor judgment of others continue to dictate a negative image of the village, or be prepared to answer the question, what are you hiding? Thank you.
Okay, anybody else wishing to speak for 3 minutes? I've got nobody else signed up. Going twice. So with that, we'll close public comment. We'll move on to the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I make a motion to adopt the item in the consent agenda.
Second?
So I hear a motion and a second. Just need a voice vote on this. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that motion carries.
Mr. President, I abstained from that vote, just want to make for the record.
For your item number, Jim, why don't you outline your item number?
Yeah, I abstained from the vote on item number 5 of the approval for a temporary picnic license.
Okay, so the clerk understands the consent agenda was approved with the exception of the abstention by trustee Venturini on item 5. Okay, new business. We've got a number of public hearings here that we need to go through. The first one is regarding item G, parent 10, parent A. Opening up the public hearing for ordinance 10-2024-4607 Lathrop Avenue zoning map amendment ZMA-24-3. The following rules apply to this public hearing and each of the following public hearings scheduled for tonight. If you wish to speak, please fill out a public hearing form on the table next to the entrance. Once I recognize you, speakers should come to the podium and identify themselves with their name and address. Please speak clearly into the microphone. Speakers must direct all comments towards the board. I will not allow interchange between members of the audience and the speaker. Please do not interfere with nor interject comments while another person has the floor. Please keep all comments on the particular item before the board and no longer than 5 minutes. Finally, please turn off or mute your electronic devices. So I need to recognize Sam to continue this.
Mr. President, the applicant applied to amend the zoning map for 4607 Lathrop Avenue and lots 2 and 3 of CSM 23-14 from AG2 to RE. 4607 Lathrop contains an existing detached house, and the 2 other lots are currently vacant. The application follows a residential, including churches, multifamily recommendation of the land use element of the comp plan. Neither the bike plan nor the parks and open space plan contain any recommendations for the property. The RE zoning district allows the uses described in Table 90-310-1, including single household per lot use by right. And the village staff will review any site plans for compliance with these ordinances. The fiscal impact shows, is included with it and shows this has a revenue to cost ratio of 4.7 to 1 and a private to public ratio of 11.6 to 1. That is using the existing home's value and then some estimates with similar values for the other two lots. Neither the village staff nor the plan commission recommend any conditions for approval, and the village staff and the plan commission both recommend that the village board moves to approve ordinance 10-2024.
So at this point, I need to invite the public to speak on this. I have nobody signed up for comment regarding this item that's in front of the board. Anybody who wish to speak on this item? Not hearing from anybody. I can close public hearing on that, and I'll go to Trustee Boccia. I think you got a motion.
On item number 2, Mr. President, I make a motion to approve ordinance 10-2024 regarding a zoning map amendment to 4607 Lathrop Avenue.
Second?
So I hear a motion and a second. Any from the board wish to speak on this matter further? Planning commissioners?
Yeah, this
discussed
is
that.
very straightforward. At Plan Commission, very little discussion. Mr. Krieger is continuing to advance the development and division of his properties and on Lathrop Avenue, and it will be on an existing road, so very profitable over time to the village, as our ratios clearly show.
Ditto.
Okay. So on the matter then of ordinance 10-2024, roll call, please.
Venturini,
Aye.
Washburn,
Aye.
Bhatia,
Aye.
Anastasio,
Aye.
Doxy,
Aye.
DeGroot,
Aye, motion carries. So let's move on to the next public hearing item, item G, parent 10, parent B. And this is regarding ordinance 11-2024, Sheila Drive and County Trunk Highway KR zoning map amendment, ZMA 24-4. Mr. Schultz again.
Mr. President, the applicant applied to amend the zoning map for 2 parcels along County Trunk Highway KR from RH1 and RE to P1 for natural resource preservation. The application follows the comp plan. The bike plan does not contain any recommendations. However, the park and open space plan does recommend preserving the property as open space lands via a nonprofit conservation organization. The P1 zoning district allows the uses described in Table 90-310-1, including natural resource preservation uses by right. And the village staff will review any site plans for compliance with the ordinances of the village-wide regulations. In terms of a fiscal impact, the preservation of the property via a nonprofit conservation organization would render the property tax exempt. The northern 13-acre parcel already has this designation. The village is not liable for any long-term maintenance of the natural area, but previously purchased a conservation easement on the northern property to protect its natural state in perpetuity. Neither the village staff nor the plan commission recommend any conditions for approval, and both the village staff and the plan commission recommend that the village board moves to approve ordinance 11-2024. Just a quick reminder, this is the Root Pike Win area. They are the nonprofit conservation organization that owns the northern property that is a part of this and has the option to purchase the southern property that is a part of this. They are hopeful that with this zoning that they will have what they need to go after a couple potential grants to complete the purchase of the southern property and preserve this open space area in perpetuity. So this should help them go after a couple grants.
Okay, as before, this is where I invite the public to speak on this matter, either for or against it or indifferent. Again, I don't believe we have anybody signed up for this. I have nothing in way of paperwork. So I'll go to the those in chambers here. Anybody wishing to speak on this? Going twice? Okay. That being the case, I can close public hearing on this because we've achieved our statutory responsibility. And I'll go to trustee Boccia.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve ordinance 11-2024 regarding a zoning map amendment for Shiloh Drive and County Highway KR.
Second.
So I hear a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the board?
Again, as we talked, it's we discussed as the planning commission, and it's it's for the, I would say, maybe the top natural preservation land in this area, and the planning commission had no comments, and we were very pleased to recommend the approval by the board. It's a win-win, and the residents of Campbellwood are very pleased that we're moving forward with that. So
This helps close the circle on that whole project.
close the circle on that. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well done. Okay, so in the matter of ordinance 11-2024, roll call, please.
Venturini,
Aye.
Washburn,
Aye.
Bhatia,
Aye.
Anastasio,
Aye.
Doxy,
Aye.
DeGroot.
Aye, motion carries. So let's move on to 11A, which is discussion and possible motion to approve budget resolution 13-2024, which is amending the 2024 adopted budget to provide capital fund appropriations to equip a police vehicle.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve Resolution 13-2024, amending the 2024 adopted budget to provide capital fund appropriations to equip a police vehicle.
Second.
Tammy, were you going to speak to this, or should we have Captain?
I can. All this is we are selling 3 old vehicles, and we are going to be using those funds to pay for equipping the new vehicles. The new vehicles are actually paid for out of capital, but this is going to be giving you the funds for like equipping them as far as with the lights and things like that.
Okay. That seems.
We had trouble getting, buying police vehicles because of the supply chain issues or whatever, so we're actually going to be able to get some vehicles this time?
That's what we hope.
Oh, great. Oh, good.
Okay, so on the matter of 13-2024, roll call, please.
Venturini,
Aye.
Washburn,
Aye.
Bhatia,
Aye.
Anastasio,
Aye.
Doxy,
Aye.
DeGroot.
Aye, that motion carries. So let's move on to 11B, which is discussion possible motion to approve budget resolution 14-2024, which amends the 2024 adopted budget to provide funding to assist with the fire chief recruitment and selection process.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve Resolution 14-2024, amending the 2024 adopted budget to provide funding to assist with the fire chief recruitment and selection process.
Second.
So I hear a motion and a second.
The Police and Fire Commission met last week.
Oh. Never mind, go ahead.
The Police and Fire Commission met last week. They are moving forward with their process to recruit a fire chief. And with that, they would like to enlist the services of a consultant. So at this point, we are asking permission for funding for that in an amount not to exceed $20,000, with funds coming from contingency.
It's the same
Something we
process.
need to do.
Yeah, same process we went through with the police chief. We had to do a study and recruitment process, so now we're having to do it with the fire chief as well, unfortunately, so.
Have to fill a vacancy. We've got an interim chief working with us so that the day-to-day continues, but we need to have the long-term solution. So in the matter of budget resolution 14-2024, roll call, please.
Venturini,
Aye.
Washburn,
Aye.
Bhatia,
Aye.
Anastasio,
Aye.
Doxy,
Aye.
DeGroot.
Aye, motion carries. So let's flip the page here on the agenda. We'll go to discussion possible motion to award the contract for utility installation, which is water and sanitary sewer, along Wisconsin Valley Way. And I think that we need Mr. Loyce to weigh in on this. But motion first.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to award the contract for the Wisconsin Valley Way Sewer and Water Project to the low bidder, which was S.J. Lewis Construction, Inc., in the amount of $5,977,530.75.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. And again, this is something that we just discussed at the committee of the whole. But Claude, if you'd like to just speak to this.
Yeah, so again, this is part of our agreement that we had with Microsoft and Foxconn, as part of the closing. So this will extend, finish the extension of the water from Braun down to KR, and also finish the sewer project, which will go from KR to Highway 11, and some laterals across on each side for the water and as well for the sewer. So again, came in great. We had 9 bids. Actually, again, hopefully this is a great sign of maybe things coming back down to normal. Again, S.J. Lewis was a low bidder at the $5.9 million, and we've used them, and Village had used them before, so everything was good.
Claude, is
Always
this-
nice to hear something's going to cost less than we think.
Yeah.
Mr. President, may I address a question to Claude?
Sure.
What's the start date on this?
Yesterday,
So they're gonna start on it right away?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you remember going back to our agreement, we've got till, I believe it's June of next year to get these jobs completed. So we'll get them out there as quick as we can, Nancy.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if some of the competitive bidding, I wish I felt like prices were getting back to whatever normal is, but I'm just wondering too, if it's the time of the year and, you know, people have had some work finished early, we had good
Yeah.
weather, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just curious, it's a lot of reasons why, but good luck for us, so.
Yep, exactly.
Every now and then you catch a break, but only every now and then. Any other thoughts? If not, I'll call a question on this regarding the water contract. Let's do a roll call.
Venturini,
Aye.
Washburn,
Aye.
Bhatia,
Aye.
Anastasio,
Aye.
Doxy,
Aye.
DeGroot.
Aye. So that motion carries. Any reports from staff or trustees?
For the Tourism
Mr.
Commission, I'd like to comment if I could. Yeah, for the Tourism Commission, you know, as we continue to create an identity for Mount Pleasant in our beautiful campus park, if I can point in the right direction, right over here, starting on Tuesday, for all of those that are watching now, maybe streaming and seeing this. Tuesday night, we start our music series, and I think it's utilizing our park and creating an identity for Mount Pleasant as a wonderful place to live and a great place to visit. So Tourism Commission has that kicking off next Tuesday, the 18th.
You're here.
Little advertisement.
And who is the group playing?
I don't know. I can tell you who's serving the beer.
All right. One last motion.
On that happy note, move to adjourn.
If I was saying aye? Aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you very much.